CAC Lab Report, August 26, 2058. Dr. Creed's log. Our first successful vaccine. This variant was 100% successful in eradicating the alien DNA. After testing, it was discovered that the unaffected DNA showed no disruption in any way. Unfortunately, the subjects didn't survive the test. However, I can't help but speculate that mass vaccination of the populace could be on the horizon. Colonel Kowalski congratulated us on this breakthrough before disappearing, which is odd. I haven't seen him in hours. And then... what the hell is that? Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and today we're talking about OnEscape for the Atari 800 series computers by Vortidor Games. In my case, I'll be playing on an Atari XE system. This is the soundtrack edition of the game, and there's a bunch of extras in here. Alright, so let's take a look at what's in the box here. So I've got, as I said, the soundtrack edition, and it's got a sleeve with box inside. You flip this open to reveal the insides. We've got obviously the soundtrack here, CD. We've got a nice manual on the history of the game. The origin of the game starts back in 1999, so if there's a sequel, we can expect it in about 24 years. It's got some of the artwork that they had put together, early stuff, which is great. There's this nice big poster that actually has the, upside down here, the map of everywhere that you're going to be. Got some stickers here, and of course, slide out from the bottom there, the cartridge. And it is a really nice injection molded, kind of smoky clear cartridge. It's not repurposed old stuff, so I really like that. And yeah, that's the package that you get when you order the game. So enough about that, let's take a look at the gameplay. Starting the game, you get a very cinematic credits followed by a lengthy pre-game cutscene with lots of backstory. Normally, I'm not a fan of this much before the game, but in this case, it's very well done and sets the stage for what's to come. From start to finish, OnEscape is definitely a game that thrives on its rich atmosphere and lore, so I suggest reading through all of this on your first play. It's at this point that I should probably mention that although 99% of this game can be played with the joystick alone, you will need the keyboard for one critical point of the game. It's also used for reading some lore during the game and, mercifully, in multiple plays, skipping the opening credits. After the cutscene, you arrive at a game menu, where you only have an option to start or watch the intro again. Move your cursor with the joystick to start game to begin your mission. You commence at the entrance of an underground lab vital to vaccine research that could save humanity. This is a point-and-click adventure that will take you through multiple environments in your journey. Now, as is true for most games of this type, OnEscape is heavily story-based, and the game is a series of puzzles that you have to solve to make your way through the lab and beyond. So for me to do my typical walkthrough would spoil the entire game for you guys. Instead, let's go over the mechanics, some tips and tricks, and a few sneak peeks of what you can expect. So far as mechanics go, it's point and click. So you point and you click. The joystick is your mouse here, moving your cursor around the screen. And of course, the button is your click. The boxes on your screen are for items that you pick up throughout the game. To use an item, click to select it. Then click the area on the screen that you want to apply it to. If you've matched the right item to solve the puzzle, it'll disappear from your inventory and you're on to the next puzzle. The cursor changes shape when you can interact with something. So if you find yourself stuck, you'll want to scan that cursor all over the screen to see what you're able to touch. It's actually a good idea to do this on every screen anyways, as some things can be hard to see or not abundantly clear that they can be interacted with. With at least one item, this is vital, as if you miss it and carry on with the game, you'll be stuck. This happened to me my first time I tried to play through, so just know that you want to check everything. But, just as you may have to be careful to not miss important items, there are several items in the game that are red herrings and not needed at all. It certainly doesn't hurt to pick them up, just know that if you complete an area and have items left over, it doesn't necessarily mean that you missed something. Explore everything. Before even going into the lab, you're able to walk around the surface. And once you're down below, you may have to retrace your footsteps to solve things in a certain order before progressing somewhere else. There are no enemies present and you can't die, so with one noted exception that will be very obvious, take your time. Also, for the full experience, make sure to pick up diary pages that are scattered throughout the lab. You don't need them to get through the game, but they sure add another level of depth and provide a lot of backstory for the world that you're exploring. Solve all the puzzles, including a really obscure one for the final password, to complete the game. For those getting really stuck, don't forget, I post my gameplay footage on Fridays, and yes, I beat this game. So take a peek if you need it. And that's OnEscape for the Atari 800 series of computers by Vortidor Games. So what did I think? It was a lot of fun. Point-and-click adventures were a big part of my gaming life back in the early 90s, and this one, with its retro graphics, great moody soundtrack, and logical progression, brought me right back to those games. It's executed well, and as obscure as that last puzzle was, it wasn't nearly as bad as some of them that I remember back in the day. Hell, my friend and I beat Myst when it came out, so this was a cakewalk. If you like these kind of games, and you're looking for something new for your Atari 800 or XE, this is a great choice. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. As usual, all my contact information's on the side there, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.